Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford as usual. Well, actually, it's pretty mild today. It's feeling all right. Not feeling all right about yesterday's result, and as you would expect, some of the Paper Talk revolves around yesterday's result and the post-match comments from the manager and also from Harry Maguire as well. I'm not going to dwell on this. We'll talk about it briefly and then we'll move on to better, happier news, hopefully. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, speaking after the 1-1 draw at the Hawthorns, said he will not settle for second in the Premier League title race. He said, "No one will give it away this early. This season is so unpredictable. Life is so unpredictable. Anything can happen." In that song. And of course, we're not going to settle for second. It's a compliment to the boys that we've gotten ourselves into the position that we're in. We're the team closest to City, and we should be challenging the team in front of us. So he's not giving up. I mean, this comes on the back. Some people have sort of pointed out that I think Jurgen Klopp the day before was sort of saying Liverpool's title challenge is over. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't feel the same way about Manchester United. I think United and Leicester are now on the same points, but we're above them. We're second. Big gap between us and Manchester City, but Ole says he's not giving up. Whether United fans feel the same about that is a different story. Also, Harry Maguire was speaking about yesterday's game and the penalty that wasn't given. Now, I don't want to dwell on this. We spoke about it yesterday extensively, but I will speak about Harry Maguire's comments on the matter. He says, ever since other people from other teams spoke about us, we've had absolutely nothing from the referee or VAR. Feels like he's having a dig at Jurgen Klopp, who mentioned Manchester United. I think it was after they got beat off Southampton a few weeks ago. At the moment, we're playing without them, so we've got to make sure we're not leaving the game in the hands of the referee or VAR. So Harry Maguire not happy with the fact he didn't get a penalty. Some people were saying it was offside anyway, others saying it wasn't. Regardless, it wasn't a great result. Those are the comments from the captain and the manager, and I don't think we need to dwell on it too much because we know Manchester United need to do better. One last comment about yesterday's game and some of the fallout from it, and I'm sick of having to speak about this, but I've got to because it keeps happening, and that's racist abuse to Manchester United players following a disappointing result. Anthony Martial was racially abused on Instagram. And this comes on the back of players like Marcus Rashford, Axel Tuanzebe also being abused online following disappointing results. I mean, it pains me that we're still having this conversation. I think I can, remember when was it? You remember the Suarez ever incident, ever getting racially abused online? Remember, was it Euro 2012 when some players missed penalties and they were racially abused? How dare you miss a penalty for England and you're racially abused? These are like incidents were 10 years ago and we're still having, or 9 years ago, 10 years ago, we're still having these conversations. Nothing's but changed and something needs to be done because it's just unacceptable. And listen, I love Manchester United, I love Manchester United fans. I think we've got the greatest fan base in the world, but those people who are racially abusing fans need to take a look at themselves and go and find someone else to support, even if they do, if they do indeed support Manchester United. Some of them may do, but some of them may just be trolls who are trolling people. But regardless of that, it needs to stop and something needs to be done. Happier news, Charlie McNeil scored 4 goals against Manchester City. The former Manchester City academy player scored 4 goals against Manchester City for the under-18s. We're going to have more about that in the academy review with David Pritt. What I did love about it was Charlie McNeil kissed his badge when he scored. Good lad. Now, talking of young-ish United players, bit of a tenuous link there. Diogo Dalot has been getting a bit of grief over in Milan. He was part of the team, AC Milan team, that lost 2-0 to Spezia. I'm probably getting that completely wrong. Forgive me, I'm an idiot. And his performance by some Milan papers and Milan News was labelled disastrous even, and horrendous. Having a bit of a tough time of it there. I mean, he has been doing all right up until then. Milan were top of the league, but he's didn't have a great game for them, and he's been singled out. Remains to be seen what happens with Diogo Dalot, whether he's going to be that's going to be a permanent move. Everyone thought it would be. Has been doing, as I said, doing okay over there. Now had a bit of a stinker, but hopefully he can turn that around. Onto transfer news. I know we all love a bit of transfer news. Deo Upamecano isn't happening, so I wasted my time outside here, didn't I? All those times when I was saying, "Oh, tell you what, Deo Upamecano looks like he could become Old Trafford." Well, he's not. He's going to Bayern Munich. Shock. Bayern Munich getting one of Germany's best players. I know he's not German, but one of the Bundesliga's best players. But there could be some light at the end of the tunnel for Manchester United because Ibrahimovic Konate, who plays for RB Leipzig as well, as we all know, alongside Deo Upamecano, is apparently on United's radar, and United fancy the chances of getting him. Now, I like Konate, he's a good player. The only issue I've got with that, I mean, he's still young, he's 21, is he's had a bit of an injury-hampered season this season. He's missed quite a lot of football. He's recently had a torn muscle, I think. Earlier in the season, he had an ankle injury. So I think he's only played about 6 games in the Bundesliga. Not the end of the world. He has played a lot of football in the past, but that's maybe a little bit of a red flag. But United are one of the favourites to sign him. As always, when United are going in for a player, as we saw with Upamecano, other teams are also interested in him. So it doesn't look like it's going to be cut and dry that United go in and get him. Apparently, Chelsea and... Is it just Chelsea? Yeah, I think it's Chelsea. Oh, sorry, Chelsea and Liverpool are also showing interest in him, according to German publication Bilder. So we'll have to see what happens with that one, because it doesn't sound great when you've got to go head-to-head with Chelsea. You've got all that money. And also Liverpool, who didn't spend massively last summer and are expected to spend a lot more this summer. So he's a player that's on United's radar. United think they've got a good chance to sign him and are going to, apparently according to reports anyway, are going to go for him in the summer. Would be a useful defender, and we know with the troubles we've had in defence this season, Eric Bailly still can't get a run of games due to his fitness. Victor Lindelof, question marks about his form and even, you know, his general ability. Is he good enough to partner Harry Maguire? Because I think, if we're being brutally honest, whoever comes in is going to partner Harry Maguire, because regardless of whether you're a Harry Maguire fan or not, he's an £80 million defender that's also the captain. So I don't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dropping him anytime soon. I think that it's going to be a partnering for Harry Maguire, and someone like Ibrahimovic does seem like a good fit. Another possible good fit is Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Remember Sevilla, don't we? We all know about them. He's been linked with Manchester United, and again, this looks like, I mean, it's been labelled in some members of the sections of the press as this could be a better deal than Upamecano. I don't know whether that's the case or not. But Jules Koundé, very useful defender, 22 years old. Apparently City were interested in him last season and went so far as to actually make an offer that was rejected, according to reports, about a £45 million offer that Sevilla weren't having. He's being labelled as a £60 million fee, or £60 million target. I think he's worth it. We'll have to see whether that happens or not. We definitely need to strengthen in defence. We've had defensive problems. We need another centre-back. Whether it's Kanai or Koundé remains to be seen. United could be in for... Doubtful we're going to go for both of them, but we're going to go for one of them. Either one, I think, could come here to Old Trafford and do a job. And obviously, with Upamecano out of the picture, he's got a Bayern Munich, then United have to look elsewhere. So it looks like Jules Koundé and Ibrahima Konate are the main targets for Manchester United to strengthen at centre-back. This has been a Paper Talk. Make sure you're checking out all the other videos we've got on the channel. If you do want to give yourself a bit of, bit of harm, then you can look at yesterday's the results, the reaction from yesterday's game. I mean, it's always, I wouldn't say good for a laugh, but it's always good to look over what went wrong, and you've got the likes of Stephen House and Adam McCall looking at that. If you want to look forward, like we all do, we've got the Academy reviews coming up, like I said about. You'll have the Devils podcast later on. If you also need cheering up, we've got the Premier League P-Take coming up later on today with Adam McCullough and Joe Smith. They'll be taking a look at the Premier League and what went on this weekend and having a good laugh at it. I don't know whether they'll be getting many laughs from the Hawthorns, but they'll be looking at other teams as well, because they're always good box office, aren't they, those two, when they're taking a mickey out of our rivals. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Don't forget, if you're not doing, to hit like, share and subscribe. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a Paper Talk for Stretford Paddock. Thanks for watching.